This is going to be a good one for you Eagle fans out there because the potential, this free agency, okay, is going to be perfect for the Philadelphia Eagles for a lot of reasons, okay, for specific positions and things we didn't believe were not going to happen could actually happen. And man, am I here to tell you about it. You probably heard, but we're going to get through it all. Two potential candidates that are already probably on the board, probably in an Eagles uniform in secret right now. Let's get into all the news.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So a lot to talk about regarding the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, every day we get nits, bits, and pieces of news and rumors and third-party rumors and rumors from Schefter and, Rappaport and other stuff that's just all mixed together. But what became a dream could be a big reality for the Philadelphia Eagles at the running back position, where it seems like DeAndre Swift is probably not going to be in an Eagles uniform, testing the market, and they're probably going to have a lot of suitors at this point. The Philadelphia Eagles, finally, I think as of right now, there is legit news to where 85 to 90% this could be coming to Philadelphia in free agency with Saquon Barkley as your new Eagles running back. Wow. I mean, never would have thought, but wow, does Kellen Moore think that Saquon has a lot left in the tank? And let me tell you, I totally agree with him, okay? A lot of people are going to talk about the reports, but I'm going to give it to you right now what happened that made this thing so realistic, okay? Now, Dunleavy, that is a writer for the New York Post, and he used to be, I think, a beat writer for the Giants, had a lot to say. There were some things said by him, okay? So he's done a lot of reports for the New York teams and the New York Giants. Says the interest is mutual, and Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles is a real possibility, okay? Now, that was just the first step of news I didn't make a huge deal about, but he's a very good source. Now, the second source is from within our own. And who do we trust within our own that every time he speaks, we listen? That is Howard Eskin, okay? Usually when Howard Eskin talks about things, he's usually right. And usually when he opens his mouth about things when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, you better open your ears a little bit and listen to this. So Howard Eskin was on WIP, and he says, I didn't believe, but I checked it, and they do have interest in Saquon Barkley. I think they're trying to work on something that would not be fully guaranteed. He's not going to get a ton, quote unquote. I think they're looking for a running back that can also catch the football. So now I don't know if this means they're looking for obviously trying to sign Saquon Barkley and looking for another running back in free agency. Are they actually going to pay two guys? But I don't even care about that. Howard Eskin just checking this information to see if it's right. And usually with Howard Eskin is like probably the number one guy I would listen to when it comes to Eagles trade rumors and stuff like that, because he's always got great sources and respect around the league for a lot of things. But Saquon Barkley, I'd rather have Saquon Barkley over Derrick Henry, because I feel like with Saquon Barkley, the world needs to see this. The world needs to see that Saquon Barkley with a good offense behind a fantastic offensive line that is still going to be very good, even without Jason Kelce, even with Cam Jurgens at center and Jeff Stout as the run game coordinator and offensive line coach. I have plenty of, I feel good about it. But Saquon Barkley just has so much. He does everything. It just sucks that the Giants have ruined him. And unfortunately, he wasted too much time over there. They didn't fix the offensive line. He took too many hits. He got injured because he took too many hits. And he's been literally the focal point guy on that whole team, because nothing is an upgrade over Saquon Barkley in that New York Giants offense. Okay, I'm from New York. Okay, I live in New York. I know what trust me, of what they do around here with their players. And, I see the Giant fans always trying to hype up their seasons every year. And it just gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. Okay. Now, Saquon Barkley can run north and south, east and west, red zone. You can pass the ball to him. I mean, I don't know if the Eagles want to get him in the passing game. They did it with Austin Eckler, so they could want to get him involved in a lot. And I think they will sign another running back, maybe not a market guy. Maybe they go on day 3 of the draft and go get another guy. I don't know, with Kenny G as the number 3 running back. But I think, guys, like, you get players from within the division, and maybe some players like to stay inside the division because at the end of the day, like, look, like Saquon Barkley played for Penn State, okay? He might be coming home at some point. You know what I mean? Like, he could be coming to Philadelphia. And to be honest with you, Saquon has a ton of value. And I understand people are going to complain about his injuries. I'm like, dude, like, every running back has got injuries. DeAndre Swift had injuries. He missed 5 games the year prior. We said if he stays healthy, he will have a 1,000-yard season. And he did. Could have had a better season. Saquon Barkley would be the 3rd, probably the 2nd best back in the league. I'm not even kidding at this point. He'll probably be the 3rd best back. He'll be a top 5 back in this league if healthy and is put on an actual real team that has good players on it, okay? That's what I'm getting at right now, because you get a ton more value. And a guy within the division that knows a lot of the players. You play within the division, you play teams twice a year, all the players, you kind of want to pick your spot. He probably looks at, the Eagles offense looks appetizing. Running behind that offensive line looks appetizing. His agent's probably like, yo, Miles Sanders ran 1,000 yards. Look what, DeAndre Swift just ran 1,000 yards. And you'll probably run over 1,100 yards with this offense. Okay. I know that Kellen Moore's run pass ratio ain't fantastic, but I'm telling you right now, Kellen Moore runs a lot more than what the Eagles did last year. Okay. So Saquon Barkley, mutual interest coming to the Eagles. Swift looks like he's going. I don't know. Swift looks like he's testing the market, and he might have more interest elsewhere. Okay, not saying that Saquon won't. What are these these contracts are going to be below $10 million. They're not going to get what they want. They're not going to get full guaranteed deals. And yes, it's all about the guaranteed money at the end of the day when it comes to these contracts. How much money's up front, signing bonus, all that stuff. Saquon will turn this offense around. Not only, and that's just a little piece to it. That's just a little piece to our offense. He's never been around 2 prolific wide receivers on top of a mobile quarterback, on top of a top 3 offensive line. The world has to see this with Saquon Barkley in an Eagles uniform running behind the Eagles offensive line. Okay, this is something, and there's fans that don't like this. There's fans that love it. There's fans that are like, in the middle about it. I absolutely love it and did not think that this would be realistic. And since the Swift news isn't getting any better by the day, it seems like you're going to get more value out of Saquon Barkley because, yes, he can pick up blitzes, he can block, he can go out for passes. He's physical. He has a big lower body. He's hard to tackle. He gets to that second level in open space. I am telling you right now, he will beat out any defense that's out there. He will outrun an entire defense. Can do it. We might be able to revive his career to what it should be or what it should have been years ago. So this news is really good. This went from like good nugget of news to wow, this could be an actual thing that might actually happen. So, that's all I got to say about this. Saquon Barkley to the Eagles is very realistic. It just turned up to 100 real quick. So, that is the news on that. And especially when Howard Eskin opened his mouth about it, that was even better. That was the icing on the cake. We're just looking for now the cherry on top, which is next week. Is it really going to happen? Now, another one that's really interesting, okay, that happened just out of nowhere because the rumors were connected to this player. Justin Simmons was released by the Denver Broncos because he was $18 million against the cap. So they had to make a move. Nobody was trading. I guess teams were waiting for them to just release him at this point. Now, Justin Simmons at 30 years old, the connections he has with the Philadelphia Eagles is Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, was the head coach to Denver, and Justin Simmons had great things to say about Vic Fangio. Loves his scheme, and talked about Vic Fangio recently, actually at the Pro Bowl. This is an all-pro player, okay, that is still playing at a high level, that is in, there are so many safeties available right now. Like, he's one of my top 5 safeties, okay, as of we were going to get. Yes, would I rather have Xavier McKinney at 25 years old? Sure. You know what I mean? Is available. This is the best safety market class I have ever seen. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, seriously. I mean, Cam Kern from Washington. I mean, there's so many guys available. Pick, make your choice. Because the rumor about the safety market right now is that this from Diana Rossini, this news came out this morning or yesterday, that the safety market isn't going to be a high market this year. Boom, thank God. This is perfect for the Eagles. Perfect. If you don't want to get a Tracy Walker type veteran, if you don't want to get an Eddie Jackson that hasn't played great at all, or do you want to go out and get probably the best veteran guy you want to get, it's Justin Simmons. Now, I wasn't a fan of getting Simmons because I didn't want to trade for him. When you trade for a player, you have to give compensation from the draft. I didn't want to give up a pick for Justin Simmons. And it's not that I will hate this move if they do sign. Obviously, it makes me more comfortable to sign him in free agency. He's 30 years old, so how many more years does he have left? Because I don't want to keep signing, look, I don't want to have a one-year deal because with a lot of positions, I'm tired of the one-year deals. We have to stop the one-year deals because I feel like we're back to square one every single year. We haven't had a good safety really since Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, Chauncey probably would have played really well, but they could. There's possible rumors they might bring in 2 guys. We need 2 bodies. Reed Blankenship might be the 3rd safety this year. They could bring in Chauncey and they could bring Justin Simmons in the building. I didn't want to trade for Justin Simmons. I didn't want to give up a draft pick for a 30-year-old player. That's in the high level of his career. That's perfectly fine. I didn't want to do that. But since he is a free agent, this contract has got to be at least a 2-year deal for me. He's got to be here a couple years to see what he does. And like I said, he's up there in age. So, what am I expecting? I think they should sign. Would it be better if they sign 1 veteran, 1 mid-tier guy? Like Chauncey will be a lot cheaper, so maybe they sign 2 of them. Justin Simmons, will I be happy if they sign him? Definitely, since we didn't have to give up anything for him, but just sign him on the spot, perfectly fine with it. I just wish, in my own opinion, we just went a little bit younger for a guy like Xavier McKinney that's a ball hawk, and that's just, just somebody that just fits this, both these guys fit the system, no doubt, but with Xavier McKinney, I just want something for more down the road. And, maybe we're looking for more of something right now with Justin Simmons as for just this year. I would rather, if Justin Simmons gets a deal, I'm hoping it's not a 1-year deal. I'm just hoping it's like a 2-year deal. 2 years is perfectly fine with me. If you need to cut him after this year for some weird reason, then the Eagles won't get hurt by that. Maybe they void that contract for next year or put something in the contract where they can get out of it if something happens after this year. I don't know. But Justin Simmons and Vic Fangio are like this. They're like this. That's how close they are and how much they respect each other. And as from an Eagles perspective, not mine, an Eagles perspective, this would be what they go after, most likely. I would have to say Justin Simmons will probably be the top guy. This free agency is so perfect for the Eagles because the running back market is going to be low. The safety market looks like it's going to be really low, rumor-wise, from what we're hearing. The Eagles are in perfect position with cap. They can free up more cap, and they're going to have draft. And we still have a draft. We still have a draft to look forward to. The pieces that they could get, it's amazing. It's amazing what they could do. So I'm looking for 2 safeties to be signed in free agency. I'm looking for 2 guys. I'm looking for a mid-tier and obviously a high-caliber player. Okay, and Justin Simmons fits the mold. Like I said, I'd rather have somebody younger, but if they go this direction, I don't blame them for doing it because if you already have a guy that fits in the system already, a guy that, that's already connected to Vic Fangio, the chemistry is there between defensive coordinator to player, and this is another leader, this is another voice at the end of the day. Okay, all I didn't want to do with Justin Simmons was I didn't want to trade for a 30-year-old. I didn't want to trade for him because I didn't want to give up any draft capital. It's too valuable for this upcoming draft. But since he is a free agent now and he's available, and I have to, swallow my pride and say, look, if they take an older safety, then they have to sign another guy next to him to accommodate him. So if they sign him and a younger mid-tier piece that's pretty damn good in this system, I really won't complain. Him alone, I just need more than that. And yes, they could maybe go into the draft, but I feel like they're going to go for 2 safeties. They're going to go for 2, and obviously Reed will be the number 3 guy. I think they need someone to they had someone to at least be with him. I think we'll be fine with that. So I think I'll be excited for Justin Simmons. I'll be excited for Xavier McKinney. I'll be excited. Xavier McKinney, apparently there's rumors that he's he's trying to get like $17 million a year. He's only worth like 10.3. They're trying to garnish as much as possible. We'll see where the numbers go. We'll see what they sign Justin Simmons. I'll be happy about it. I'll be fine with it because I know we're picking up a guy that's in an all-pro level right now, playing at an all-pro level in his prime and already ready to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So there'll maybe be room for youth later on, and I'll just have to accept that. Some people just want to go younger. I like to go younger at safety for once. We haven't had a young safety in here for a while. It's either we have young players and we don't keep them long and they play good elsewhere, or we just don't have them at all. We keep getting these 1-year, 30-year-old veterans. I'm just tired of it. Like, I just want to go a different route. But if they sign him to a 2-year deal and they sign another guy that will compensate well for him, both of them will work well together. This safety market is perfect right now. When the Eagles, yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. I'm going to love this. Either or, I'm going to love it regardless. I'm so excited for it. Now, last thing I want to go over is Brian Burns. We don't know what's going on with HaasonReddick yet, but there was some information that came about Brian Burns. We saw that he wanted over $30 million, and then they offered him a $27 million deal during the season. He didn't take it. Now, Brian Burns, with 1 year left on his contract. Now, Brian Burns has been, upset the last couple of years from, how they've been using him and kind of, there was talks that he wanted out of Carolina, wanted a trade, and potentially could happen. So Brian Burns, we'll see, the news in general with him from Josina Anderson that was reported. It says, regarding Carolina's current situation with Brian Burns, a league source told me in their opinion that the Panthers should adapt better to present circumstances in order to potentially consummate a trade. The source said, in their view, it's a double whammy to pay huge money for a player and also give huge draft compensation to the other team for a deal. That is true. They added, the time to get more draft picks was when the player has years left on their deal. But if a player is in their last year and the other team has to be prepared to keep the player or take less. I've heard some league source say a 3rd round compensation is fair for Burns if the acquiring team is also giving him a long-term deal, but the asking for 1+ is definitely too much for them. So pretty much the Carolina Panthers are being scumbags. Okay, they're wanting way too much for a player right now. Just for right now. I mean, no one's paying a 1st-round pick for Brian Burns. It's not happening. Most teams will give up a 3rd-round pick for Brian Burns. And honestly, if you're looking to, and this is if the Reddick deal doesn't go through, okay? If the Reddick deal doesn't go through and they need to pay somebody, maybe you go after a move like this. The Eagles have a compensatory pick, 3rd-round pick for Javon Hargrave. They have that pick. You know what I mean? So if Reddick signs elsewhere, maybe you pay a 3rd-round pick for Brian Burns. I don't know. You go for a rotational guy like Chase Young, something like that. What's his face is going to be coming back. Brandon Graham. It looks like it is being more serious that he's coming back on that 1-year deal. It's getting more serious now. I think he is coming back. I think it's safe to say he is. But if Reddick does stay, and you're already going to pay Reddick and extend him and save money at the same time, I don't think you may make a move like this. You kind of stay away from this. Go pay like a $12-13 million to Chase Young or something like that. I think a nice rotational Leonard Floyd that knows, that's been in coverage as well as being an edge rusher. There is a lot out there. There is a good amount of pieces at defensive end. Or you want to go into the draft and get your future pass rusher, which whether you go Chop Robinson or go, Latu, you go for him from UCLA. There's a lot out there for the Philadelphia Eagles regarding it. So I just want to give you guys just a little overview of what the Panthers are looking for and what teams are willing to give up. And, if Reddick goes, this could potentially be a trade if they have to make it. But it's not going to be enough. Even if Reddick signs, it's not going to be enough. They got to sign a rotational guy. They could go into the draft and sign the best pass rusher, edge rusher for the future. Who knows? Another guy that's 30 years old, turning September. Reddick will be 30 in September. And, how many more years? You know what I mean? Like, you need a guy for the future. Josh Wett's a free agent after this year, and Brandon Graham's retiring after this year. You're losing 2 defensive ends after this year if you re-sign Reddick. So you're back to square one of just having Reddick, and there's no other young talent around. Nolan Smith hasn't produced, so, he'll probably most likely be an outside linebacker. So a lot going on with this situation. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We talked about Saquon Barkley and how realistic the rumors are really starting to show right now. And I'm just, oh man, let's unleash this. With this happens, I'm telling you, I don't know what to say about it anymore. It's gonna get kind of crazy. About some of the reports, and obviously Howard Eskin kind of putting the cherry on top a little bit, was pretty nice. It gives you a nice understanding of how serious this really is, that there's actual mutual interest. And we talked about Justin Simmons as well. And, as much as I would love to dive into a little bit of a younger pool, getting Justin Simmons, at least if it's a 2-year deal. If it's a 1-year deal, don't even sign him. Don't even waste your time. I need him for at least 2 years. At least keep him in the building for a couple years. This way we know we don't have to go into another off season with guys leaving. I understand how he likes compensatory picks, but we need to get with the program now. Okay. So, theoretically, I think the money that they're going to be looking to spend is going to be linebacker. And I think they pick up 2 of them. Okay. Whether it's Jerome Baker and Van Ginkel from Miami. I think that's a realistic one right there. We'll see where else Willie Gay. We'll see where else things do go. The corner market is definitely not on the list because Jalen Johnson just got paid $72 million, 45 guaranteed, 4-year contract. That's definitely not happening. So we'll see what happens. But you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think about the rumors in general. Are you excited? Do you want Saquon Barkley as number 1? Do you like Justin Simmons, or do you want to go younger? You let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day, and make sure you like the video. It does help out the channel very much. Enjoy your day. I'll see you guys later. Shake some up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.